I'd like to tell you a story of a man who sat beside the Pool of Bethesda for 38 years waiting to be healed. I imagine him sitting beside that pool day after day, year after year, the sun rising and setting over him as crowds gathered around the water, each person expecting for a miracle. And for 38 years, he watches as other people step ahead of him while he remains in the same place, carrying the weight of disappointment, excuses, and unanswered hope. As the story continues, Christ approaches the man and asks him a question. Do you want to be made whole? Now pay attention to this. The man doesn't immediately say yes. Instead, he begins explaining why he has not been healed. There's nobody to carry me into the pool, he says. Every time I try to get there, somebody gets in front of me. Sound familiar? Because I don't know about you, but I can think of moments in my own life where I knew exactly what it was that I desired. And instead of fully going after it, I sat in the place of desire, watching other people obtain the very things I longed for, while remaining emotionally stuck in all the reasons why I couldn't achieve the same thing. So I waited for someone or something to take me there, waited for fear to disappear, waited for resistance to disappear, waited for doubt to disappear, waited until I finally was ready. Meanwhile, life continued moving around me while I sat there wondering why it was taking so long for my breakthrough to come. All the while, I was still sitting. Then the story continues with Christ telling the man, take up thy bed and walk. Now, what moves me about this story is that Christ never shamed the man. He simply understood that the man had to participate in his own healing. He had to get up from the place where he had been lying stagnant for 38 years and move, even if slowly, towards his healing. And this story confirmed something so very deeply for me. The decision I made to walk away from a relationship I had been in for many years was the right decision because for so long I sat there waiting to be chosen, waiting for reciprocity, waiting for inconsistency to somehow become commitment, waiting for the cycle to finally end, when all along I had the power to choose myself and walk toward the peace, love, and wholeness I had mistakenly been seeking from another. So I had to participate in my own liberation, just like the man beside the pool had to participate in his. I had to stop waiting for someone else to choose me properly and finally choose myself. Now, let me tell you something. Movement is uncomfortable. Leaving from a stagnant situation was uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Walking away from a familiar cycle is uncomfortable. Now, there were so many reasons I could have stayed in that connection. I could have made so many excuses. I could have tapped into the fears. So many what ifs. But I eventually realized this. If I wanted a different life, I could not continue participating in the same cycles that were keeping me emotionally stuck. I had to take up my bed and walk. No more waiting. And that's the question I'd like to pose to you today. Where in your life have you become emotionally identified with waiting? What pool have you been sitting beside waiting for someone else to carry you in for your healing and liberation? And what would it look like for you to finally participate in your own healing and liberation? Because maybe the miracle isn't that the man got healed. Maybe the miracle was that after 38 years, he finally took up his bed and walked. Thanks again for listening to another episode of Kashina Speaks. If this episode resonates with you, Leave a comment and share it with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, remember, it is safe to slow down, it is safe to soften, and it is safe to thrive.